Live from Houston, Texas, the humidity capital of the world, it's time for Money for Lunch, where we feed your brain and your business with supersized portions of business and financial news. Now your host, Bert Martinez.
We have real estate staging expert, Christine Rae. She's a home staging expert and a best-selling author. Christine Rae will team up with you and your, real estate agent to help stage your property to get it sold quicker. Christine Rae, welcome to Money for Lunch.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, so let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somewhat impressed with a lot of stuff that you've done. Tell me why you have chosen this area of home staging.
Why I've chosen it? We're actually a school.
What attracted you to home staging? Because it's kind of a very unique, industry within the real estate industry, isn't it?
It is. It's a absolutely growing exponentially niche. It's listed as number one on the CNN most favorite job category for growth. And actually, I am not a stager. I was a stager, but I actually have a school where we teach people who want to be stagers across the country.
Gotcha.
And so they go out and work with the real estate agents and the sellers. So generally,
so
it's
now I
people who
understand.
have a
Okay,
passion.
now I'm clear. It seems that you have developed a specialty in this new industry then, Christine.
You're right, yes.
All right, so
it's like
why don't you enlighten us? Tell the audience, what is real estate staging all about?
Real estate staging is about marketing a property so that it sells for the most money possible. So you're securing the equity for the owner in the shortest amount of time. And it's not just decorating and it's not cosmetic. It's all about condition. You know, it's not rocket science. If you get a property on the market, you would get a market analysis by a real estate agent that would say the range that this property would likely to sell based on the conditions in that particular area. If you want to secure the high end of that range, then the condition of the property has to be in tip-top shape. So a professional stager would come in and create that recommendation model, and the seller would then work from that. Sometimes the stager
Gotcha.
can do the work, so it could be simple things like packing and cleaning, but it could be more detailed work like renovating the bathroom.
I love it. All right, and so you started a school which teaches people how to go in there, do an analysis, and stage a home.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
All right, so who is your typical stager?
Generally, it's somebody who loves decorating. They've got a beautiful home themselves, or they watch HGTV till the wee hours of the morning. And traditionally, we've worked with people like that. What we're seeing today, probably because of the economy, is many of the established decorators and interior designers are crossing the field, if you will, to come into real estate staging. I think there's been a misnomer that it is decorating. And, of course, you'll use decorating skills, but you can't do decorating until you've addressed condition. Otherwise, you have that, lipstick on a pig kind of scenario. So it's usually for people in any particular area of the country who want to bring their property on the market and shorten the time. Historically we've said, okay, we bring the property on the market, we're going to sit, we're going to see what happens, see if we can get a buyer, let's just see what happens. Well, instead of that and having the stress of that, it's like, let's make it happen the way we want it to happen, short time on the market and maximizing equity return.
I love it.
Which to me is the smart way to sell property.
Right, because marketing, or let me rephrase that, selling a property or selling a home is, to me, slightly different than just selling a property. Selling a property seems cold, whereas you're selling a home that is properly presented, Now that's different. That's inviting. This is inspiring. This is cool. I want to have, my family in this home, and that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, but you have to understand how people buy, and they start out buying a property. They're looking for a house,
right.
And they look for location, they look at price, they look at the size, until they might look at photographs, on MLS and kind of go, oh, yeah, that's kind of nice. But until they get through the door, they can't feel how that space is going to fit with their family. And so our job is to get them there. Right now we know that 93% of people look on the Internet first. So that's your first curb appeal is on the Internet. You better have great photographs. And they need to show what the buyer wants to see, not how you live. And sometimes that's a hurdle in itself. We also know that of the 93% of people who look online, the National Association of Realtors tell us that they buy after they've seen 6. So it's not that they're out there looking at 50 or 40 houses. They make a list of 10. So it narrows the field. We're used to speed today. Stress is around all of us. You've just talked about a very stressful subject for everybody. We just don't have the time we used to have, We want to narrow our options and go in and make a decision, So.
Well, you know what? It's something that you mentioned. I think that we expect a lot more from technology as well. We expect to be able to go on the Internet, look at the property, be able to look in all the rooms, and see if it grabs our attention. When we were shopping for a house, we were so disappointed every time we clicked on a house and it only had 1 or 2 pictures. We wouldn't even make it on the list.
Exactly. People are smart today. And as you say, they have access to technology. So we know from statistics that, 93% of people are looking on the Internet. They make a list of 10 that they're interested in based on the photographs that they're seeing. It gets them on the list. Well, about 74% of those people will now jump in the car and go take a look before they ever contact a seller or a real estate agent. So you've got a little window of woo factor, which is, I call it, 22% there, to make sure that the curb appeal and the drive-by keeps you on the list so that they'll actually come and see you. There's a lot of amazing statistics around how people are buying property today. And it's always about the emotional quotient. We buy through emotion and support it intellectually. But if a house is over your budget, you're going to try and find ways to make it happen.
That's right. And you know what? It's something that you said out there that we buy emotionally, and I want to point this out. You're 100% correct. Even for those of us who, quote, buy with logic, logic is nothing more than a feeling of certainty. It is an emotion, and we feel that, okay, we've done all our homework, we've checked out all the possible risks, and so you might be buying it differently, but you're still using emotions to generate that answer. Yes, I'm going to buy it. No, I'm not. Let me ask you this. You've been featured in many best-selling books. I understand that you just completed a book with Brian Tracy. You're the editor of the only staging magazine in the world and Home Staging for Dummies book. Tell me more about this. Tell me about your magazine and about Staging for Dummies, Home Staging for Dummies.
Well, the reason why I did them is because it's a non-regulated industry, and it's still pretty embryonic in its development. And so the skepticism that's built into consumers today is they want credible proof that things work. And in order to have a profile of credibility, you have to go out and do some things that prove that. And one of the things is write a book. And when the Home Staging for Dummies people came knocking, I was a little apprehensive about it, I'll tell you, because of 2 things. Number one, I have a school that teaches people how to build a profitable business around this. So why would I write a book that everybody could do it themselves? Or, Home Staging for Dummies, that's their brand. But to me, home staging is for smart people. And I trademarked that because it is for very smart people. And when I talked with them, they said they always have a little thing on their book that says, and it's a resource for the rest of us. So it's Homestaging for Dummies, but it's a resource for the rest of us. So that's really kind of how it started out to be. It's grown so much that I couldn't possibly include in a workshop all the things that you need to look at. And so if you are a do-it-yourselfer, then you could take that book and certainly digest it and start moving around the condition items. You'd still need a stager to do the emotional part of it and to also maximize flow and placement. Some people like to just do that themselves if you feel that they're very motivated that way and they have a skill set. So the book is out there for that, but it was also just for credibility. And then positioning yourself as an expert is another thing that I do to keep at the top of the mind awareness, you know.
Right. No, it sounds to me like you're a very sharp marketer. I mean, you are doing everything that smart marketers do, and I love the fact that you're teaching other people how they can become smart marketers, because what you guys are doing is you're helping market and sell real estate or homes or property, whatever. And I love the fact also that you've started this staging magazine, because it may be new today, but in a few years it'll be the predominant magazine for the staging industry. And again, you're creating it. I love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you. I'd be happy to send you a copy. And it's really, we create it so that we're educating the real estate professionals, because a lot of real estate professionals see it as a surface cosmetic step, and it's as important, if not more important, than a home inspection, because we have to deal with the things that the home inspector doesn't deal with. Right. We don't do foundations and electrical, but we certainly improve the look of property. And to me, it's marketing of a property or a house or a home, whatever word you want to use. It's marketing.
Right.
And it's non-negotiable if you want to maximize that equity return in the shortest amount of time.
I love it.
That's our
Christine, we're out of time. I want to give out your
website,
stagingtraining.com, stagingtraining.com. Bestseller author Christine Rae, also editor of Staging Magazine. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for asking.
Tune in Monday through Friday here on Money for Lunch, and check out our website at moneyforlunch.com.